Hi, everybody. Welcome to Kidding. Comedians having a baby.
This was our third take of the intro.
Let's start fourth take now. Hi, everybody. I'm Dave Colombo, and with me...
I am Laura High, his wife, and vessel for child.
I swear to God, I want to start one more time. I swear to God, I'm going to get this.
Do you want me to do it?
No, I'm good. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Kidding. Comedians having a baby. We are at 16 weeks.
We are not.
We're not?
No.
We're at 17 weeks?
Yeah.
We're not starting again. We're not starting again.
That was our literal fifth take, everyone.
Don't show them how the sausage is made. That's not
we're
important.
Breaking the fourth wall.
That's not
This
important.
is about real. It's about grit. It's about raw and authenticity.
Look, when you start this low, we can only go up from here.
Yeah, no, honey, we're 17 weeks and 1 day.
Wait, you're pregnant? Yes, 17 weeks. You know what threw me off is the fact that right now the baby is the size of a large onion.
Yes.
What is the... I know we've already talked about it. I'm still not sold.
Do we really have to just go to the grocery store and I have to be like, large onion, small onion, pearl onion.
But what was stopping us from going like, we're now the size of a large poppy seed. We're now the size of a small strawberry. Like, we could have done that with anything.
Well, onions come in significantly more range and color and sizes than poppy seeds.
I like my logic.
Yeah, this coming from the guy who wants to stuff and then simmer a chicken.
We'll talk about that later. I had many people come to my defense.
Is that true?
I had one person come to my defense.
And what'd they say?
Well, let's go over it now. So we just released the episode, and we just began the episode involving the cooking conversation, where I said that cooking is more of an art than a science, and you can't anticipate how something is ever going to do. And
it's only chemistry.
Yeah. This is from Danielle. My mom used to follow the Jell-O directions straight out of the box, not hard. Sometimes we had Jell-O, sometimes we had Jell-O soup, and she was also a cook. Boom. You know what I'm realizing is my logic doesn't even, like, my logic, restaurants counter my logic.
Yeah. They really do.
I'm just realizing that now. Even though I said it. You said that line cooks exist, but you know what? In the heat of passion, I was angry. I wasn't listening.
Okay. Anyway,
how are you feeling, honey?
I'm feeling good. So we just had a doctor's appointment today, and I've been feeling like too good.
Mm-hmm.
I've been feeling too comfortable, and I went to the doctor going, is everything okay? Why am I feeling this good?
Well, you
I know I'm wearing my robe, but that was because I was doing other things. But I'm actually feeling really good.
Everybody needs to be well aware that Laura wearing a robe does not necessarily mean something's wrong. That is Laura's happy place. In fact, that's my robe that she has been wearing for years.
This counters any kind of autistic overstimulation.
Right.
This to me is my shield against the evil neurotypical world.
Uh-huh.
This keeps me safe. Do you want me to feel safe?
I've spent more money on other robes for you.
Yeah.
As an offhanded way to maybe get my robe back.
Yeah, but they're not this robe.
But they're not that robe.
This robe is better.
And you have continued to wear my robe.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Just making sure. Mm-hmm. All right. So
this one is the right robe.
So to continue our point.
Didn't you say you got this at like a secondhand store?
Yeah. Yeah. I spent like $2 on that thing.
Then why are you complaining?
Because it's my robe.
It's our robe.
It's our robe. Okay. You're right.
We are married.
You're right.
And technically, it's protecting the baby right now.
That's a good point. Mm-hmm. I apologize. So you pulled me aside and you were like, it's been a couple days. I am feeling no symptoms.
I said, I feel normal besides, actively having, a pregnancy tummy.
Right.
I'm like, and bigger boobies. I'm like, I'm not feeling shit. I'm feeling pretty normal.
And so this was definitely something when we went to our appointment today that we wanted to talk about.
We had a list of shit we needed to go over.
We did. And we'll get into that in a second. But I think it's a marvelous time capsule, considering where you've been and where you are going to be in the third trimester with constant kicking, not being able to like have a moment's peace because our little child is communicating and letting their voice be heard.
I just want to hear them. I just want to feel them living their truth.
You are going to look back at a time when you were like, I didn't feel anything for a couple of days and wondered, like, is everything okay? Like,
okay, but you don't understand. Like, I went from feeling like death.
Mm-hmm.
I went from feeling like I had the bubonic plague.
Yeah.
To now I'm like, oh shit, I can function.
You were feeling so bad, you would have put on 2 of my robes if you could have.
Your sarcasm is not wanted nor needed.
So we had this doctor's appointment today.
We did.
And
we had a litany of questions.
And we had a bunch of questions. We walk in.
We walk in. Sign in, everything. They call us and we first meet with the nurse.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, they do the weight, the blood pressure. They, gather a urine sample, blah, blah, blah. And we're in the room. And usually what happens is we're in the room and then, like, the doctor comes in. And, like, obviously before, like, we get on the scale, like, I take my shoes off because that's just going to add, because I'm, like, wearing some boots. So it's like, okay, these are, like, easily 2 pounds each.
Yeah.
So I take them off, put them on. And then they're like, and the nurse is like, oh, we're going to actually move you into this other room right now. And I was like, okay. So I just grabbed my shoes and just literally walked across the hallway. Would you like to continue?
Yeah, and we get in there, and she goes, "Do you have your shoes off?" Like this weird kind of like, okay, all right, like this weird energy of like you're being difficult and you're weird, and I'm just kind of like, and you were very like, well, no, I just took my shoes off for the scale. And it was a weird, awkward moment.
And this was
we cannot avoid those moments.
And this was a new person we were meeting with. We hadn't seen this person yet, and we're like, okay, yep. So we sit down, and this person's very, I would say, much lower energy than any other doctor that we've ever met. And this was an older white woman.
Yeah.
Everyone else at our doctor's office. Everyone else who we have met with has been a woman of color. Mm-hmm. And they have been amazing. They have been high energy in like a good, positive way. They've been there. They have been very like, oh, these are great questions. Absolutely.
Yeah,
like,
no, ask away. Ask away. Yeah.
Like, they've been so fucking amazing. And this was our first time through this doctor's office where it was the old white woman and she just was like...
Yeah. Ask me a simple question, and I'll do what she was doing.
Well, so one of the questions I asked was, so I'm starting to swell in my ankles and my calves. I mean, I know that swelling is like kind of normal, but I do think is it like a little too early? I just wanted to ask. I do actually have a very serious issue with varicose veins, so I don't know if that like puts me at a higher risk of anything. I am starting to wear compression socks. I just wanted to alert that in case that is a red flag for anything.
No. I mean, it was that kind of like, and we were like, okay, and we were going over the list of things that we wanted to ask on our way there. And then we ended up asking so many questions that she even kind of like made a point. Like we said, like,
well, you said like, well, you know, we're new parents. And she was like, yeah, I got that.
Yeah. And I'm just like, okay, all right, again, please. Especially if you know we're first-time parents.
Yeah.
Have us, like, take a minute and remember what it was like.
I do think sensitivity training, but again, I do think all of the doctors, she has been hands down the oldest person we've met with so far. Yeah. All of the young doctors have been great, have been on it, have been sweet, have been kind and caring and not, like... I think that was we were seeing a little bit of an old guard.
But the thing is that you weren't even like, excuse me, I'm not done. I have another question. You weren't being annoying. You were being like, this is what this literal appointment is for.
Is for me to ask questions and to get information.
That is what you weren't interrupting her job so that you could ask some stupid question about your ankles. You were like, this is a concern. Yeah,
because I'm a geriatric pregnancy. I'm at a higher risk for preeclampsia, so swelling is something we do need to take seriously.
Yeah.
So that's why I was asking. But yeah, no, she was, and she like, here's the thing. I do think it bothered you more than it bothered me.
Yeah, I walked out of there going like, can you believe that?
But I think the reason that I kind of was like, was because as a woman, I deal with doctors being dicks a lot and just being like, whatever. So like for me, I'm like, okay, that was a more like average doctor experience.
Meanwhile, I walked out like a Karen going like, who can I talk to?
Yeah.
I can't stand for this. You know, yeah.
And that was, yeah. So like, and hopefully we won't meet with her again. Hopefully we'll have the other doctors again because they've all been literally just the loveliest humans.
And this wasn't a bad experience
no,
by
she wasn't
any
bad.
means.
Like she was clearly very knowledgeable. It was just the others have been nicer and better.
Yeah.
And I just would like to not. She can meet with someone else, but we got all of our questions answered. We have lots of fun things we get to schedule soon. Birthing classes. We want to do a CPR class. Tour of the maternity ward.
That was another one. Was you brought up? Do you have any birthing classes or CPR classes that you would like suggest or that you have liked
that you recommend?
That you recommend? And she goes like, CPR, and we're like, yeah, child CPR classes. She goes,
CPR.
Oh, it was.
I'm
just,
like, lady, that's a reasonable thing to ask.
There is no way this is the first time new parents have said, "Is this like where can we go for this?"
Yeah, she had to have been a boomer. It's like, ma'am, you had to have been asked this question before.
There's no way.
We can't have been the first parents to ask that question.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like, ma'am. But I will say something that was really good about the appointment. Well, one, I should hopefully start feeling fetal movement next week or the week after.
Woo, fetal movement.
Hold on. I'm now actually getting... Am I correct or am I wrong? Did I yell at you for no reason? Am I...
I love this on tape. I love this on
No,
camera.
I was right. Okay.
Oh, well, we can cut around. We can cut this part.
So hopefully, we're at 17 weeks now, but 18, 19 weeks is when I hopefully should start feeling some fetal movement.
Yeah.
Which I'm really excited about. But
what's going on inside the baby right now?
Right now, the baby at 17 weeks, bones are hardening, especially in the spine and legs. Baby is grasping. Baby is growing eyebrows and eyelashes. Yeah. And then and then we got to hear the baby's heartbeat and
everything's fine, by the way.
Everything
like
is
so we
great.
went to this appointment and
the
everything's
doctor
doing great.
did say she was like by everything we can see, this pregnancy is going perfect. Yeah. She was like, your numbers, apparently my blood pressure, she was like, it's perfect. She was like, everything is looking fantastic. And so then we went to go do the baby's heartbeat, and it was like instantly put the thing to me, and it was just baby's heartbeat was right. We could hear it immediately. It's 1:45, and she was like, nope, baby's heartbeat is good. There it is, everything. And you're like, nope, it's really nice and strong. Everything's good. Right on target.
Yeah.
I was waiting for you to do a stay on target or something.
You stopped in the middle of your thought because you didn't get the Star Wars reference from me that you thought I was going to jump in. I was listening to you.
No, I was waiting for you to do the Star Wars reference. Can we try that again? That you can.
Yeah, let's do it again.
And we were right on target. God damn it! Make me happy.
Stay on target.
Thank you.
Stay on target.
Perform for me.
No, don't worry. I'll make it up to you the next time someone goes, now that's a name I've not heard in a long time. Well, of course I know him. He's me. Goodness, I mean, we gotta get all this nerding out now because I'm so paranoid that our child is going to not share our nerddom.
There's a very good chance. I mean,
there's
honey,
a very good chance.
And that's fine. They're going to have their own nerddom.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe our child is going to be really into My Little Pony.
Yeah.
Or,
well, I already am. So I'm already part of the
There you go.
World.
Or they're going to be really into NASCAR. Or they really just want, or they're just like, trains are their thing.
I have to say, honey, I've always been completely fine with anything that my child, that like hypothetically, I've always been like, whatever it is. You just said NASCAR.
Yeah.
And I clamped up.
Oh no, is that the one?
That might be my line. That might be my line.
Okay, why? Explain to me.
I do have some experience going to visit my mom's side of the family in the South, and their sport of choice to watch was NASCAR, and just me being bored out of my mind. More so than normal sports, because at least with other sports, I'm like, oh, I get it. This person can throw a spiral. This person's very fast. When you're having intimate conversations about the validity of one person's ability to drive in a circle being dramatically superior to another person's ability to drive in a circle. Your ability, you were really good at driving in a circle for 5 years, but you've really kind of lost it this year, and maybe you can pull it back up again, but you can't drive in a circle the way you did in the past. I want to pull my hair out.
I'm just sitting here in theater, kid. Like, that's all.
What do you mean?
I'm just like, to me, sports ball is just like, I just want to go see Sound of Music.
Yeah.
I just want to see like a pot of beret.
Well, that 100% must be how they feel when we talk about classic musical theater.
Yeah. And
when we talk about Gilbert and Sullivan, they're like, ugh, you know.
And we just go like, I'm sorry, Sunday in the Park with George was robbed. You know,
Totally.
La Caja Falls was, yes, it's good. It's very good.
Mm-hmm.
Sunday in the Park is a better musical. I'm sorry. Fight me on it.
You're totally right. I swear to God.
Sunday is one of the greatest music theater songs ever written. I mean, here's the thing. Okay, here's the thing with La Caja Falls.
That was a metaphor. That was an example.
No, okay.
And now we are actually talking
Here's
about
the thing
that
about La Caja. It's great. It's so much fun. I saw it live. I saw it with Douglas Hodge and Kelsey Grammer.
Mm-hmm.
Douglas Hodge won the Tony for Best Leading Actor, which he deserved to. Watching him sing I Am What I Am was literally one of the greatest performances I've ever seen in my life.
Do you need me here for this?
Shush.
Okay.
Okay, no, I need an audience for this because I need someone to tell me that I'm right.
Okay.
And so, like, I Am What I Am is a phenomenal, phenomenal song. I would argue that's kind of it when it comes to La Cage, when it's like, okay, that song is great, everything else is good.
Mm-hmm.
It's good. It's entertaining.
Sunday in the Park with George.
Sunday in the Park with George has many different masterpieces. I would argue, and this is where I would get into fights with a lot of music theater kids, I would argue that Sunday in the Park with George is actually his magnum opus, not Sweeney Todd. I said it. Everyone has witnessed. It has been recorded. I think Sunday, the lyrics are just, and the harmonies, and it's so perfect. But you have Sunday, you have Finishing the Hat, Children in Art. It's just, there's so much, they're so good. And the creativity of how he created this musical off of a fucking painting. It's like, and I'm sorry, but like, we have the Birdcage. We do.
We good?
I said important things that needed to be said, and now I've angered the theater community, and I stick by everything I say. And again, look, it's great, it's lovely, but Sunday.
Get this out now,
okay? Because
I would very much like to not be walking by when you are coddling our child or putting our child down for the night. And this is your bedtime story, is you just going on.
Okay, one more addendum.
Okay.
The other musical that was up for best, what was, it was also, I think it was up for best music. Hold on, no. We have to do this. Hold on, because I need to make sure that I'm correct on this one.
Hey, future Dave. I know you thought this was going to be an easy breezy edit, but it turns out that you're going to have to do a lot of cutting here because there's dead space. Not dead space because we don't have anything to say. Dead space because your wife needs to immediately go onto Google to find the proper musical theater trivia that she's looking for because
I need to make sure I'm correct.
Okay, yep. But anyway, how are you doing, future Dave?
It's a very good musical. Underrated.
What else is going on right now?
So the world is on fire, and I thought we would talk about what it is like being pregnant while we watch the apocalypse happen, and just be like, all right, let's register for onesies.
Well, I mean, because look, things evolve for good and bad over time, like where politics was 20 years ago versus where politics was 5 years ago, where politics is now, where our country is, what we care about. It is an interesting time capsule right now for our children to look back and go like, this was the world we were bringing you into.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get lucky and we do mend what's happening and we are able to move on and get some kind of normalcy by the time our child and our kids are aware and taking in the world around them. And if that's the case, then how do we explain what is going on right now and where we're at and how far back we've gone? Because my I don't know about you, but my entire political awareness from the late 90s to like, let's say 2015, I wonder what happened then, was a consistent with detours, but a consistent progression of progressive.
Do you remember the primaries in 2015?
Yeah. Hold on. We'll get there. So it was a progression of progressive victories. Mm-hmm. Detours here and there, but there was like, oh my goodness, gay marriage. Oh my goodness, all of these things. Oh my goodness, more representation. Of course, not enough, but things are like getting better. And I remember like looking at conservatives and I remember kind of going like, how on earth you see the way things are going. You see the way things are progressing. Even if you think you're right, you're watching the way the world is moving.
But that's why they're being dicks right now, because they're just like, fuck, that's not what we want.
And they are actively turning it back.
Yeah, I mean they are like we are. I mean that was in, I can't remember the direct quote, but if you read Project 2025, which if you haven't, you really should, because I did. And one of the lines, I'm gonna butcher it, but it was basically like they even acknowledged we must work quickly and swiftly because we only have 2 years to like get this right, or we have lost all chance.
Yeah,
like it's something like that. I'm butchering.
They knew exactly. Yeah,
they completely know that the world is leaving that mindset and that archaic way of being behind. So that's why they are being absolutely ruthless and cruel right now in just literally disintegrating all the progress that we have been making for decades. And it's why it's so imperative that we take stands, as we recently did. So like this past week, Kimmel got suspended/fired, and then as of today found out he's coming back tomorrow. Mm-hmm. And apparently also tomorrow's the rapture, so we'll see if this episode still
why even bother with any of it?
Yeah, because we're getting raptured.
Yep.
And how many raptures has this been for you now?
8 or 9.
Yeah.
What if I get raptured and you don't?
Then you're holding a rock and you're staying down with me.
Honey, give me something heavy, quick. Ah!
I'll give you Starina.
I love the... Oh.
And she'll just wait right back
I love
down.
the idea of like God wants me in his kingdom of heaven, but if I'm holding on to something, he doesn't have the strength to pull me up. And it's just like, we'll leave him. It's like, yeah. I know technically not a rapture, but I still really loved Y2K. Y2K was amazing.
Y2K was great.
It was incredible.
2012, I think has been the rapture where I have given the most like, oh shit, maybe two. Like that was the only one that I was like, I don't know, maybe. That one, the 2012 one had best PR.
Yeah.
Hands down.
Well, okay, so let's do this.
It had a John
here.
Cusack movie.
Y2K was like, is everything just gonna stop? We don't know. And we were like, yeah, but like, what about the scientists? And the scientists are like, we don't know. And we're like, what? And then 2012 was like, are the Mayans right? It was the same energy. It was just kind of like, yeah, we don't think they are. We don't use that calendar. Yeah, but we don't know. And it's like, can somebody in some kind of authority capacity
just
tell me I don't have anything to worry about, please?
Well, I think at this point, I'm really like, I ain't given the rapture too much. So as someone who has now lived through multiple raptures, but
that's the one where it really happens. It was the same thing when we found out we were pregnant. We were like, okay, it's going to be a long haul. It's not going to happen this time. And then boom, we looked and saw that we were pregnant.
The rapture happens, and all the Christians go up, and then the rest of us party, and we invest in science and education.
Yeah.
And we're going to have a great time.
And then it's going to be great. Yeah.
Well, it's great. Okay,
and all of a sudden, traffic is so much better. Yeah.
There will be so many empty houses, and there will be a lot. There will be so we can steal everyone's eggs.
Yeah, I have a sneaking suspicion.
Quiches for everyone.
I have a sneaking suspicion. The more we look into what would happen after the rapture, the more we'd be like, that actually solves every single problem.
I mean, I think if I remember correctly, the world gets swallowed into like a pit of fire or something.
I think that's an interpretation.
That's an interpretation.
But that's just so mean. Where it's like, you, God, you've got them. You've taken your chosen people. Can you just like
let us live?
You made this. Just don't worry about it.
Like, don't you care about the bunnies? What the bunnies do?
Yeah. Well, he already took them out with the flood once.
Oh, that is true.
Boy, okay, so we were going to talk about the political climate that we're bringing a child into, and we just did a 10-minute detour about how many times we thought the rapture was going to happen.
Okay, but here's the thing about the flood, though, that I love the bit that Eddie Izzard / Sophie, is she now just professionally going by Sophie, or is she still using Eddie Izzard?
Don't know.
I need to look that up. One of my favorite jokes that she did was talking about how about the flood and how go check out the special. I believe it was in Dress to Kill, right?
I don't remember.
I think it was Dress to Kill. No, maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was Glorious. Crap, I don't remember. Where she talked about how there was a major plot point hole missing in the flood because it was yes, everything gets wiped out except the floaty ones and the swimmy ones.
Mm-hmm. I'd also like to really applaud you for not knowing something and not immediately stopping to check it out on your phone.
Yeah, no, we were committing. We committed
to that one.
I'm committing to the bet.
Compared to earlier, you've grown a great deal in the last 20 minutes.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm okay with not being word perfect with this one, but when it came to musical nominees, I was coming in with all barrels.
It's amazing how on track our usual episodes are, considering how easy it is for us to just get off track completely.
This is all about parenting, okay? Because
This is all about parenting.
It's all about parenting. It's very important. What are the musical nominees of the 1984 Tonys?
Right.
Okay.
So, okay.
Yes. Anyway, so everything's bad. And everything, especially this week for us, we're like, oh shit, do we need to get new jobs?
Yeah.
Are we going to, I sort of joked with the fact, remember when we had quarantine jobs? Are we going to have fascism jobs? And kind of really thinking for a moment, oh shit.
It isn't often when we as comedians feel like our job, we tend to have this kind of well, at least the arts will always be here. And then like quarantine hit and we're just kind of oh, you don't need laughter in a public club, or we can't have that. Oh, okay. That humbled us real quick. That the arts, the artists aren't essential. And with this whole thing about free speech kind of coming up, it is this thing where it's holy crap, nothing is safe, nothing is sacred, and it is really easy for manipulation of the narrative to kind of make a lot of people think that we should just give up on the First Amendment because a couple of people don't like what some of that speech is. Well,
it's really become quite clear to me, especially within the last few weeks, is that people really don't understand the basic civics.
Yeah.
They do not. I've learned, because I've been quite active on Threads, thank you to all of my new followers, that a lot of people actually don't understand that hate speech is a very clearly defined word. Mm-hmm. And they didn't know that. And they don't understand what actually constitutes as hate speech. They really don't know. They just... They're like, but that's just my opinion. I'm like, okay, but it's hate speech.
It reminds me a lot of the way, remember when we see the videos during COVID of people walking into a CVS or something, or a drugstore, and they're I demand service. And it's we're asking you to leave. You can't do that. Literally, as a business, we have the ability to refuse service to anybody. No, my rights. And it's You don't know what you're talking about. You saw a movie once about patriotic freedom and assigned all of these values of what is and isn't real, but talk to a constitutional lawyer or a law professor and they will set you straight immediately, but you don't want to have that conversation.
Yeah, it's very clear that civics is very lacking in our country, and we desperately need to have a much better, thorough curriculum available. And granted, like, I'm not a constitutional lawyer. Like, I can't go. I would never put myself in having a debate about the Constitution. I'm not knowledgeable enough, but I'm knowledgeable enough to understand what free speech is, understand what hate speech is, understand what a hate crime is, understand the history of where hate crimes came from, and
what amendments we have that specifically cater to specific things that needed adjusting because it wasn't covered enough in the original amendment. It's crazy.
Understanding the difference between a company or a corporation firing somebody because they're like, look, we really didn't. You win against your contract. You did not represent our company. Like you've win against our company policy versus the government putting pressure on that corporation or company and going, you need to fire that person.
And not doing that behind the scenes, going on a podcast. It's so thinly veiled. Like, that's what's frustrating to me is it's not just that they're doing that. It's that they're not, they used to do that, but hide it. Yes. And it took a journalist to go like, whoa, I've got a scoop. Now they're going on podcasts and legit going,
here's the scoop.
Yeah, like, hey, I represent Donald Trump, and I would like to state for the record that we're going to do this now. And it's just...
Yeah, and I've got people like in my comment section right now who are arguing because like I was interviewed by CBS News and because I was performing at a protest to bring Kimmel back and to protest what Disney has done, and I posted it, and the amount of people that I have in my comment section who really again don't understand what happened. And like one comment I'm getting is like, oh, so the Democrats get free speech but we don't. And it's like, bro, we actually just fought for everyone's free speech in this moment. I know that that's not how it feels in your fifis, but actually we did. This actually positively affected your free speech in the long run. I know it doesn't feel that way to you, but it actually did.
And I swear to God, if Joe Biden said, I'm going to sick my team to get Gutfeld taken off the air, that lefties would go like, dude, man, I guarantee that would happen. But because stuff like that never does happen, we don't get to show and prove them wrong. Okay, so this is all to say that we are living in a very scary time in a very scary world. What are the ways you and I frequently try to do this thing where we kind of will have like a hypothetical, like, what if our kid was bullied? How would we talk to them about it? Or like, what if our kid got caught doing something, or they came to us with an issue or a problem? How would we talk to them about it? It's going to be very, very hard. It's going to depend on if things get better.
Yeah.
And we are talking about this time now as like, thank goodness we are in a better time than when you were coming in, because things were looking bad for a minute. And let's learn about what was going on in 2025 so that we don't make these mistakes again, because our democracy is incredibly fragile. But if it is bad and it is getting worse, and every day we are getting more and more like Mad Max, what does that even look like?
Well, I think it is important to remember that people have brought kids in even more political turmoil.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we were just talking about the fact that, like how hard it is to deal with pregnancy now. And now imagine doing it like in the Middle Ages where like no sonogram, no doctor. Well, you just hope somebody knows what's happening to you.
Imagine being pregnant and having a child during World War II.
Right.
I think So I do think that I personally am of the opinion that having children is resistance. It is a rebellion. It is a form or an act of like, you are not taking away our joy in our family. We are going to keep living and we are going to keep persevering.
Yeah.
So I do genuinely believe that. And having children as long as you want to. Obviously, child-free, you are, choose your own path. But having children, if that is what you want, also is a act of hope.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
Because this is a hard thought that I'm just realizing.
Uh-oh.
I'm applying this like savior complex onto our kid already.
Is our child going to save the universe?
Well, in my head, yes. Because here's the thing. You said something
by
beautiful.
their kicking. You can already tell.
We can already tell. If they can solve the world by going, then we're in good shape. You, a long time ago, came up with this wonderful, amazing mantra, which is we just want to add good to the world. That's all we want to do, and that's all we want our kid to do, however that manifests.
We want our child to be a net positive onto this world.
A net positive into this world. And that can be baby stuff. That can be just do more good than you took away. Yeah. Add more than you took out. And I think that that's beautiful, and that is literally the yardstick that I go by every day when I think about our kid. It is hard, though, when we think about how bad things are going.
Yeah.
And my rationale for bringing somebody into this world, because otherwise it's masochism. Like, why am I bringing a child into this literal dumpster fire? Except unless in my head I go, because maybe they'll be the one. That maybe they'll be the next Nelson Mandela. Maybe they'll be the next, like, literal person who grabs all of society by the reins and steers things in a more progressive direction. That is way too much pressure.
Well, so there's a couple of things that I would add. One, we can't just allow the Republicans to be having all the children, like us.
That's a great point. Progressives,
lefties, liberals, like we gotta be raising some kids. I again think it's my way how I grew up, the way I grew up is definitely skewed. For anyone who doesn't know, my grandfather's a Holocaust survivor. My whole family was Catholic Polish, all volunteered and signed up for the Polish underground. They didn't have to. They did it because they were like, it's the right thing. We must defend country. We must defend our land. We must defend the fellow citizens. We're going to stand up. And my grandfather, at 10 years old, volunteered for the Polish underground. 10 years old, fighting Nazis. And my whole family either was... I had 2 family members killed during the Warsaw Uprising. The rest went into the camps. And all 4 family members who were in the camps, they all survived, which was a miracle. But my grandfather was in Auschwitz and Mauthausen. And my grandfather was very, very involved in raising me. He was both my grandparents they were very active. So when you have that kind of family legacy and you have that kind of person with that perspective helping to rear you, it really, I would say, affects your brain chemistry on how you look at disastrous situations. Because even with my grandfather going through everything that he did, he was an exceptionally hopeful human being. And he would be the first person to say, no matter how bad it gets, it can turn around. And it only turns around if you don't lose hope.
Well, in his lifetime, he watched the world burn to a cinder and then come back. In his lifetime. In his
lifetime, he watched, my grandfather as a child grew up in aristocracy. Then his entire country, his life burnt to the ground and had to start from nothing in America, fleeing for his life, got married, had 2 kids, became a very successful businessman. So for me, in my family, in a very, very real way, is like, things can get better. Like we can't lose. Like, we have been in worse situations, and we have come back from them. And again, and this isn't. And I want to be very clear with this. It's not that I want people to not take what's happening seriously, we are in the red zone. We are in a dire situation. Marginalized groups are absolutely getting targeted in a very serious, deadly way. And it is terrifying, and we should be scared, and we should be taking this seriously. But I refuse to give up hope. I refuse to say this is the end. I refuse to say we are cooked. And I refuse to stop living my life and bringing joy into this world because we have come back from worse. Mm-hmm. And the only way we come back is if we hold on to that hope. And that is how I was raised. And I understand it's very specific given my family's background. And it's why I continue to fight so fiercely right now. It's why I went to the protest. It's why I'm not shutting up about my opinions. It's why I refuse to back down, because I do not want my child for one day to think that their mom didn't fight like hell to make sure they were coming into a better world.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Do you think that our child can be the savior then?
I want my child.
Do you apply what I was applying, which is okay? Good.
My hope is that our child will be a net good and add to the healing.
Yeah.
My grandfather wasn't the savior. He wasn't. Neither were my great aunts or my great uncles or my great grandfather. None of them were the savior. Yeah. And my grandfather always said, he was like, I was a cog in a big clock. And he was like, he's like, look, I had only a very little job, but everyone had a job and it was important. And that's the thing. Everyone has a job right now. And whatever our child's job is going to be important, whether or not they are just whatever it is. And all I want is for them to add good and to add to the pile.
Mm-hmm. It is fascinating to me, the cyclical nature of, like, I remember being a kid and the mantra being, oh, you know, we screwed up the world. It's going to be up to you guys to pull it back. Oh man, you know, so sorry for what we've done. And then, you know, and yeah, what's happening now is not wholly the responsibility of millennials. A big problem is that older generations are not passing the torch to us.
Well, actually, I saw an interesting quote, and I want to see what your thought is, that millennials, it's like things are cyclical. We are going to be the next version of the greatest generation. Like, we are in the time frame and the age where it's like, oh, fuck, it's going to be on us.
To do what?
To, like, the pressure of fighting back we are going to be the ones in charge of it the most.
The reason why I don't think so is because so much of that fight is going to need to happen online. And if people making fun of me for being a millennial and old online is any indication, not enough people are going to be listening. If you have gray in your beard, God help you trying to go, hey, I'll lead us out of this, or you know, follow me. No.
Well, that's not to say that you're supposed to be a leader, but I think that just right now millennials are at the right age where we do as a whole need to be taking the wheel and leading.
Yeah, but we can't until the generation ahead of us gets out of the way. Every time I look at the news, it's 70, 80, 90-year-old people going like, what? And
that was the best Chuck Schumer impression I've ever seen.
I don't know
right
what you're
there.
talking about. That could be anybody.
Literally
it could
just
be anybody.
Looks like Chuck Schumer.
Definitely not somebody that I've seen in person and went, whoa, it's even worse than I thought.
I don't want to say how, but you and I have seen Chuck Schumer in person, and all I can say is he looks worse.
The camera takes off 20 years.
The camera actually is very giving to him.
Yeah.
He looks way worse in real person, in real life. Oh my God.
The point is,
like, I saw him and I was like, bro, you gotta retire now. What are you doing, man?
So if we are to assume that things are going to continue on this trajectory relatively, and this is going to be a fight by the time that our kid is old enough to kind of be aware of what's going on, how valuable is it to teach them about kind of where things were, the progress that was being made?
We have to, because we have to teach them context. We have to teach them history so that they understand, like, this is what you're fighting for. It was here. It was there. There are people who want this. And this is what they were actively trying to take away and what they are trying to take away.
I think that the difficulty, because I already feel it, my cynical, like, who cares if it can all be taken away this easily, and if the politicians who claim to agree with my ideology can be this toothless against the wave, how can I expect my child to not feel that times 10?
Well, I think it's very, very important that all children, and this is where parents really nationally need to step up. You must take way more of a, I don't know, firm stand with your child's education. And if your child is not getting the full education that you want to, you must step in and teach your child. So if they're not being taught civics in the way that you want, you need to explain to them at the dinner table, this is what's going on in the news. We are going to tell you what is happening. It's
so funny to imagine them coming home from like a Thanksgiving Day pageant and they've still got their cardboard pilgrim hat on. And we just got to be like, great, you did great. That was really good. Now, here's what really happened.
Let's talk about genocide.
Just writing it on a chalkboard behind us. Like, I mean,
the letter of the day is G.
And nothing changes because that happened to me too. My freak out when I realized how much of my childhood upbringing and education was like, this isn't just like there's some false facts in here. This is genuine brainwashing to turn me into a compliant, patriotic American who cares that our country was touched by God.
I think we have to be a little bit more honest with our kid than maybe our parents needed to be when we were kids, or probably what they should have actually really been. I do think we're going to have much more deeper conversations at younger ages. Yeah.
I mean, but how much of it was our parents not caring, and how much of it was that, like, by the time your kid is going to school, you're like, thank God, a break. Like, as a parent, like, oh my goodness, I get some time back. And to be able to, like, now go like, yeah, but now you got to check every single thing that they're being taught.
I think it was a little bit about like, oh, they will learn it.
Yeah.
Oh, they will. But also, a lot of our parents got fed the same fucking propaganda.
Yeah.
A lot of them did.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I do think that we do not have the luxury to just sit back and go, oh, they'll be taught it.
Special shout out to my high school American history teacher. I will not name him in case he's still teaching. There's no way he's gotten away with this now, but he taught me about the real America, because the first half of the year was everything in American history up to 1963. And then the second half of the year, I don't know how he got away with it. He just taught us about the Kennedy assassination for months. And
is that started your conspiracy brain?
100%. But also the don't believe what they told you started like, wait a minute, what do you mean? As like a high school student, for the first time hearing that what the government says is not necessarily gospel was so valuable, so incredibly valuable. And I don't know what's the right age, but there is an age where you have to go like, hi child. So you just spent all day learning bullshit, and the like, and explain the machinations that went into why there was a need or a desire to teach you that bullshit. But like, you don't want to be like a hippy dippy, like not like it's all bullshit, man. Like, you don't want to be that kind of parent.
No.
Because then that really damages the child.
No, but I think that there is a real conversation as to going, like, because when they come home and they're like, we just learned about Thanksgiving, the first one, and the Native Americans and the Pilgrims broke bread and they brought turkeys. You know.
All right, let's do this. How do you react? Young Ebenezer comes home and they go, I have a project to do on Christopher Columbus.
Oh God.
I'm supposed to hit all of the ways in which he changed the world. Mom, will you help me?
Oh, I need a moment.
I don't want to ask Dad because his last name, I know he's related and I think he's too close to it.
Do you know what I think I would actually probably do in that moment?
What would you do?
I would make
conference call with the teacher.
No, I'd make a call to one of my indigenous activist friends, and I would say, "Hey, have a little situation at school. Really want to right this ship from a indigenous perspective. What would be the most helpful? How are there books? Are there resources? Are there movies? My child is 6. What is the best way to educate my child in which that helps your community out?"
Or you just go, repeat after me and write this down. In 1492, Columbus contributions really blew.
You know what that works. You know what? I think at that point, even if like we get a call from the teacher, we'll be like, fuck you.
We're right.
We're right.
Oh, honey. I mean, are you ready for me to show up like at school and go like, this propaganda's not gonna fly?
Yeah.
Like I'm going to come with receipts. I'm going to come with the actual documented evidence. And my last name is Columbo. I'm as connected to this, to wanting it all to be real as possible.
I mean, my hope, and this might be me being just an idiot, and me being like totally not realistic. My hope is that because our child, we are in New York City, I'm hoping that it will be a little bit more of a progressive curriculum, and the teachers will be a little bit more up to date and not as propaganda-y. Mm-hmm. That's my hope. Mm-hmm. I'm probably
remember the
wrong.
exact date and time that you said that.
Well, it got filmed, so. We got it on camera. That's my hope. That's my hope that I'm really just like that. Actually, when we really do start looking at schools, those are questions that we should ask.
Yeah.
Those are questions. Yeah. Okay. There we go. Good job, Mom and Dad.
So we're going to be those parents?
Yeah, we have to fucking be those parents. Everyone should be those parents. You should be asking, how do you handle these? How do you handle teaching racism? Mm-hmm. How do you handle teaching genocide? How do you handle teaching these very, very important historical moments? How do you handle teaching slavery?
Yeah.
Because our kid needs to learn about it. How do you handle it?
And how important are these like urban legends of history to are they important? That like is the metaphor of Washington saying I cannot tell a lie? Is the value of like
I watched
at an early
cartoon
age,
movie
right,
of him chopping down the cherry tree.
I cannot tell a lie. Like, is the
value was that?
Is the value of the life lesson? Is it an episode of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood? Is it Sesame Street, where it's like, today I learned that lying is wrong, and I learned it through a lie about a historical figure.
I think if you want to learn that lying is bad, you've got Mr. Rogers. I don't think imprinting that George Washington was this stand-up dude, which we all know he wasn't, I don't think is helpful.
Yeah.
I think we need to make space for the fact that he was kind of a douchebag.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of an asshole. Pretty big asshole. Did some really crappy things. And I do think that we So I think teach the kids lying is bad, but you can do it in not a lying context.
Yeah, you don't
Like,
have
why do
to
we have
throw historical figures under the bus. Like, imagine
Like,
you...
why are we just putting that on George Washington? I almost said the GW.
The GW. He was,
GW.
technically. But, like, can you imagine that that's what your legacy is? Is, like, you become this politician and you do this, you fight in a war, you do all this stuff to better the country. And then, like, hundreds of years from now, it's like, we use Laura High, a story where she learned the value of not being envious, and that becomes like all you're known for is like this someone tells a fake story about you.
Yeah, I do wonder, like, wherever George Washington is in the ether, and it's like they're learning that cherry tree shit again.
It's crazy.
Like, I do wonder, like, if he would be like, it's fucking cute.
Yeah.
Sure. I don't give
why
a
not?
Why not?
Keeps me in everyone's mind, you know?
Yeah.
Well, George Washington's always going to be in our mind because we have to spend hours getting onto his bridge every time we want to get back into the city.
The fucking traffic on GW recently, bro.
You want to fix America? Start there.
Please, dear God.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is going to be, so the construction is on the New Jersey side, because I was about to say, Mom Donnie, I have your first assignment.
Yeah.
Fucking fix this shit.
Yeah.
But it's on the New Jersey side. I don't think it's his jurisdiction.
When you talk about building bridges, we mean literally.
We need literally. We need
not
this.
As a metaphor.
Yeah, because coming back to New York on the GW now,
Nightmare.
it's a parking lot right now.
Google Maps being like, 20 minutes, you'll be home. And then like 20 minutes later, it's like 39 minutes, you'll be home.
Yeah.
And then like 20 minutes later, it's just like hour and a half, you're going to be home.
Yeah, no, it's lies. Everything about the GW right now is just a lie.
Yep.
Yeah, no, because it's basically the construction is making it go down to one lane, and it is bullshit.
So we talked about...
If anyone is coming from New Jersey to New York on the GW in any near point, do the lower level. Don't do the upper level.
Yeah.
Do the lower level, because the construction is on the upper level.
Good parenting advice. So we should probably end it here.
Okay.
we got. I think we
this
got
was
a very
great episode. This is my favorite episode.
Your favorite episode? 20
Yeah.
minutes up top about musical theater, and then the last half
The
about...
children need to know.
Okay, sure. No, you're right.
I was parenting.
All right, fair enough.
Watch that acceptance speech and tell me it wasn't shady.
Oh, to go back to our conversations about what type of food our child is.
We really need to, we're going to another stroller store today. Not today, this week.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to hopefully figure out what actual stroller we're going to get that we're going to register for.
Do you think we are anywhere close to that?
After our, I started maternity Pilates.
Yes, you did.
And it was really nice.
I think we could have talked about that if you didn't spend 20 minutes trying to see what musicals were going around in 1984.
This was important.
It was important.
I needed to get it on record.
Okay, so let's talk about your Pilates. How is it going?
It was very nice. Well, it was, I felt bad because I was the only one who signed up for it.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like, I got like this like discounted private session.
Yeah.
And it was so lovely. It was so nice. Really loved the instructor. She's also pregnant right now. It was safe. I felt very safe, and it was challenging where it needed to be challenging, but I could do it, and I could feel like I could do it. So,
yeah.
It was great, and
awesome.
The place was great and everything. So, no, I loved it.
I have noticed that you have been I
signed up again for this week.
Lovely. You've been like, I want to bend down and pick this up because I don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to. You've been like I want to do this while I can. I want to be mobile. I want to be flexible.
Well, I mean, in a few months, you're going to be tying my shoes. You got to put my socks on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to be so useless. I'm going to be so useless, and I'm just going to be sitting there just moving my big old walrus belly, just going, help,
walrus
David,
belly?
my little walrus belly. I'm going to have it's going to be like this little big walrus belly.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm all down for that.
You can't call it a walrus belly.
I can't call it a walrus belly.
No, that is just for me and me alone.
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
But I can talk about the WB.
The
walrus belly.
I was about to say the channel.
That's your PB going right now. Pregnancy brain.
Oh my God. God, you okay? The episode's done now. I'm done. I'm over it. Whatever. Shut up.
If you enjoyed this, wow. But also
Watch This is the one that goes viral.
This is the oh my God, really?
That's always how it goes.
Please comment. Let us know what you thought of the episode. Talk to us. Reach
Send
out.
us fidgety things.
Send us fidgety things. Yes, we'll send a P.O. box. We need fidgety things that don't make noise because Laura's thing is like, yeah, so here's what's going on, and I think it's great. And I'm just sitting there knowing I have to edit around it later. I'm like,
I just make sure that my presence is constantly there.
You're not for 1 second is your presence doubted for one moment.
Okay, well, I just need to be sure. But look.
Your pregnance.
That's good.
Okay. Like, share, subscribe. Please tell a friend. We are on all the places you get your podcasts, so please leave us a review. Find me at Dave Colombo. Follow me. Tell a friend about the show. All that stuff. Laura, where can people find you?
At Laura High Five everywhere. And just letting everybody know, I am headlining in November in San Diego. And then I'm part of a regular house showcase show in Santa Monica at the Crow. And then I'm headlining in Chandler, Arizona, which is very near Phoenix.
LauraHighFive.com for all
Laura
of
High Five. And then
touring info.
the ticket link is not up yet, but we're coming back to Boston in January. That'll probably be our last tour date.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
But thank you so much, and until next time, we will see you next. What are we next week? Cucumber?
We're at cucumber, which I know you don't like.
It's not the shape of a child.
Well, it goes from it goes from large onion to cucumber to mango.
I have pregnancy brain now. My brain will not allow me to see that. Until next time, this has been Kidding.